Hello and welcome to the View's Kitchen. On today's Help Wednesday, we're going to be going over basics for Salsa Roja. You know that salsa you want to dip your chips in really quick, the salsa you need for some tacos, the salsa that you want when you don't want to spend so much time doing it, but you know that you need a salsa for that recipe. Well, today we're going to go over a boiled salsa, a fresh salsa, and a roasted salsa. And the wonderful thing about the salsas that we're going to be doing today is that you can make it for 20 people or 30 people. You just have to multiply the recipe, but the basics are going to be right in the description area for you. So let's go over the ingredients. Roma tomatoes are the ones that I usually use for salsa because they're affordable and I can buy a huge 3-pound bag for a few bucks. Now, I know some of you get fancy and some of you love these, ripened in the vine tomatoes. And if you can get a hold of these little fancies right here, go for it. They tend to be juicier and they work great for salsa. So if you have that extra buck to spend, go for it. So you can, maybe use 2 Roma, 1 fancy tomato, mix it up and give those juices a great combination. It really is up to you. And you know what I say, make it comfortable for your home when it comes to tomatoes and every other thing in your house. You're gonna need a green pepper. You can use serranos, you can use jalapeños. If you don't like spice, you can even use a bell pepper. And for those of you that grow poblanos, maybe chop one in half because those are pretty large. And you can also use a poblano for your salsas. You'll need some cilantro. Now, we know some of you don't have a preference for cilantro. Guess what? Just keep it out. You'll be okay. Substitute it for a little bit of the green onion, and that'll help you give it a good balance and a good look to your salsa. Here's a topic for conversation. Some of you just don't like onion in any way, shape, or form, so you can just make it with garlic. Now, for those of you that enjoy both flavors, these are great. Personally, I prefer for roasted salsa, I prefer the garlic and the onion. And if I'm gonna have the fresh or the boiled salsa, I'll prefer the onion and not to add garlic. But it's gonna be up to you, friends. You'll need lemon or lime. If you like tart salsas, go with the lime. And if you like more of a sweeter, a subtle citrus taste, go with the lemon. You're gonna need some salt. I tend to use Himalayan salt for our recipes, and you'll find that if you're using regular table salt that you're gonna have to use less of my recommendations for salt, but you do need to get salty with it, especially for the roasted and boiled salsas. Add your tomatoes, jalapeño. If you like onion in your boiled salsa, this is where you would add your onion. But for me, I like to keep the onion out of our boiled salsa most of the time. We're gonna continue to boil our tomatoes and our delicious jalapeño for another 10 to 15 minutes until our ingredients are nice and soft. Do you see the skin, how it's just coming off of your tomato? That means that you boiled your tomatoes long enough and they're gonna be nice, soft, and juicy for our boiled salsa. Now it's time to blend. I'm gonna slice the stem off of our chile. It was scared, my knife was scared of that jalapeno, guys. If you see a little bit of bruising or drying from your lime juice, don't be scared. It's still really sweet in here. It's delicious. For the cilantro, the same amount of stems, a little bunch, about 20 stems, friends. Squeeze the juice. If you can get a hold of key limes, I think that that's the best for salsas. You use a lot less of the juice, but it's so good and balanced. The ones that come like 50 to a bag? Yes, those. Those are the ones that I like.
At the Latin American markets?
Yep. And I wanted to keep this recipe super basic so that no matter where you are in the world, that you have access to the ingredients that we're using for the salsa today, friends. Your salt. And now let's blend until smooth. And boom, done. And friends, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you do want to taste the citrus, you want to taste the salt, and adjust from there, okay? Yes? Anybody say okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Chop up your tomatoes, and this is for a fresh salsa. I have to blend our tomatoes first, okay?
Salsa fresca.
Salsa fresca. Ooh. Ah. Salsa fresca.
I love that chopper.
You know what?
And you're singing.
You got me into it. Just enough to add the rest of our ingredients. I'm telling you, my jalapeños are so spicy that I'm only gonna put the tip in, okay? Now, we're gonna need some cilantro. And when I say a little bunch, you're gonna need about 8 to 10 little stems. Yes, I counted them for you because I love you. So just break them up because they're gonna make up in this blender. Oh, you don't think that was funny, Cloud?
I'm wondering if you got some sleep last night.
You know I don't sleep. I don't like sleep.
No, you don't.
I do the necessary sleep, friends, to get by, and you know, it works. So if you get, you know, a scary lime, not to worry, it still works. Squeeze the juice, and you're gonna need about 1 tablespoon of your juicy juice. I don't mean the juice box, I mean your citrus, friends, okay? I'm being silly today. Salt to taste, but my recommendation's in the description area. Now, let's blend. And boom, done, friends. After you blend, you want to taste your salsa. If you need a little bit more citrus, you can add it. If you need a little bit more salt, that would be the time to add it, and then blend a little bit more. This is a kind of salsa that I like to put over my whole pinto beans. I like to use this salsa when I'm making like a quick chicken taco, a burrito. And, you know, this is great for dipping. So let's give it a taste. Say ah. Oh, ¿no quieres decir ah?
No, los niños, the ones that are watching, are saying ah.
Okay, kids, say ah.
Ah.
And this is the kind of salsa you want to make for your kids so that they can get all their nutrients. When my son wasn't eating a lot of vegetables, and he's still not very fond of them, I sneak some things into the salsas. And I'll tell you guys at the end what I sneak in there, okay? So this is great. So if your kids don't want to eat anything and you have a little bowl of chips and salsa, there's a lot of nutrition in salsas, friends, especially these fresh ones. Yeah, I can just keep going for a few hours like this. Pretty exact, and boom, done. Friends, no, my pan is not from Oakland, but it is smoking. When you're roasting your salsa, you want that pan to be smoking, okay? So go ahead and add your tomatoes. And if you have that fancy tomato, watch out, because that one's gonna burst in about 2 seconds from when you put it on this pan. Add your little piece of onion and your pepper of choice, okay? Now when you're gonna roast your salsa, you don't wanna do a half an onion, you wanna do like a 1/4 of your onion, okay? Now, if it's a small onion, go ahead and use half. And we are roasting, we're gonna need the garlic. I would add a garlic per tomato if you're a garlic lover. Now, if you like that subtle taste, maybe, you know, 2 garlics, 1, you're gonna have to decide that. I have my pan on a medium heat, and I'm going to continue to roast our ingredients, and you'll see that I'll just come in here and just give it a little turn. After a minute, I'll come and check it, and I'll give it another little turn, and we want it charred. We want it nice and dark and, you know, kind of like my skin, guys. Just like that. Nice and toasty. Been here about 8 minutes, and I'm just going to start, you know, moving them around. Ooh, that's how we want it. You want to roast as much as you can. And I had a little bit of this jalapeño left, so I'm going to roast it too, making it comfortable for my belly. After about 15 minutes on a medium heat, we have a nice roast, and they're soft and juicy inside. This one just was like, hey, what do you want? Let me just give you what you want, okay? Mm-hmm. We're going to prop them into the blender. Look at that roast. Yummy. And I like to blend my salsa to make it thicker with the skin of the garlic. If you don't like the skin of the garlic, you can take it off, but I think it helps with the thickness of your salsa. I'm gonna cut the stems off of these jalapeños, and then we're gonna start blending. I'm gonna be using lemon for our roasted salsa and a bunch of cilantro, and by a bunch, I mean you need somewhere between 18 to 20 big stems, okay? You're gonna get some small, just around that. It should help you out. Your salt and the juice of half of your lemon. Juicy. And now we just blend until smooth. After you blend your salsa, make sure to taste it. If you need a little bit more citrus, you can add more citrus, and then you can taste it for your salt content, okay? One of the things you're gonna find when you do the roasted or boiled salsas is that they tend to be a little bit spicier, but that does wear off after a while, so don't stress it too much. Friends, this is where you wanna cook with intuition. I looked at my salsa and I'm like, I like it, but I want just something a little bit redder. And that's where that juicy ripe vine tomato comes in. I roasted it and I'm just gonna place it in here and I'm gonna blend it, and you're gonna be able to see the color difference after it's blended, okay? So hang tight. And if you can see, it went from more of a muggy reddish green to more of a red salsa. So you don't have to buy that many of the ripe vine tomatoes when you're trying to impress your family or your belly. You can just, you know, balance out with both. And that's how you cook intuitively. Friends, when you roast your tomatoes, you're gonna see that some of the skins come off, and you wanna use those for your salsa because that's gonna give it more of those roast bits that we all love to see in that special, you know, gourmet salsa. So you can use those bits to make it more aesthetically pleasing and also the flavor. And yes, friends, I get all of the salsa. And boom, done. And this is the consistency of our salsa. We had juicy tomatoes. If you wanted a little bit chunkier roasted salsa, then don't blend at a high speed, maybe like a low. And if you want it super thin and dippable, definitely go for a medium high. As always, Views Club and Bell Notification Squad, Cloud and I are wishing you the best. We absolutely adore you, and we have a special, you know, thank you, a little love, a little extra everything for all of Views Club Junior, and we have one in particular. Her name is Alice Trejo. Yeah, she's our little yaquecita. We heard you're doing wonderful things with your family and that you're a sweetheart. Keep doing what you're doing. We absolutely love you, and on that one, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye! Adios!